Hi everyone, this is Amy. I had a request for how to post what the district sends out in the packets to our Google Classroom. So I'm going to start at the very beginning with that email that you get. And in that email, you usually have a link to a folder for the packets. And so I'm going to look at the kindergarten packet and I'm going to double click. You might be able to do it with a single click, and that's going to open my Google Drive. In my Google Drive, I want to post a couple of things. What I like to post is this PDF of the full packet, and that's so if parents want to see exactly what they would have had mailed to them, or if they want to print it out and have a printed copy to work through during the week, they can access it easily and print it easily. So that's the first thing that I'm going to post. Now, this folder is a district folder. So anything I do to any documents here is going to change everyone's documents. So I want to make sure that I'm saving my own copy of things. So the first thing I'm going to do is download this packet for myself. I want to read the letter so I know, make sure that I know what's going on. Sort of talking about the stress and anxiety that it has a number to call, the district website, our social media sites. There's a letter in Spanish. Here's the overview of what it's recommended that they do. If I'm a dual language teacher, which I am, I want to make sure I look at this bottom box, which are the recommendations for my students for this week. And so it looks like language arts. This week is English, independent reading, English and Spanish, math and Spanish, and science and Spanish. That's important because after I post this entire packet, which has everything in both languages, I'm going to post individual assignments that I want to support my students in doing. And so when I post, I'm going to post the language arts assignment in English, and I'm not going to post it in Spanish. They can access it in the document if they need it. And I'm going to post the math in Spanish, but not in English. And I'm going to post the science in Spanish, but not in English. So now that I have this, I download this document. And as I download it, it appears down on my screen. That's important. So next I'm going to open up a new tab and go to my classroom. So this is my test classroom. I'm going to go to the classwork tab and I'm going to create. I'm not going to call this an assignment because really it's just a resource for parents to have. There's nothing that I want students to turn in because this is the whole week packet. So I'm going to click that it's material. And I'm going to say packet for week, oops, maybe Wyndham packet for week of 4/27, 2020. And I just want to make sure that parents know this was the packet sent to families who do not have digital access. Okay. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to translate it, but I would translate it so that parents can read. This is really for parents because the parents are the ones that would be printing it out. So I would translate both of those, both the title and the kind of description. And then I'm going to add this file, and it should be in recent because I just downloaded it. And there it is. And there it appears. It's for all my students. I'm going to give this a topic to keep my classroom nice and organized, and I'm going to call this topic Wyndham Weekly Packets. Going to all students. If I were doing this on a Friday, I might wait to post this until Monday morning to not freak everybody out and have everybody looking at it or worrying about it over the weekend. Or if your parents like to get it before the weekend, that's fine too. So if I want to delay the post, I just go to schedule and I can plan for when it's going to be posted. if it's already Monday and I know that some of my families are receiving it, then I might just post it right away. So it's now Tuesday, so I'm going to post this right away. And there's my post. So that's the packet. When my families click on it, they'll be able to see the whole packet that they would have gotten in the mail if they didn't have digital access. There's nothing that I've assigned yet, though. And so now I want to think about my assignments. So I'm going to actually use this packet to guide myself. Whoops. Okay, so let's see. The recommendation is day 1, Monday, read Busy Bees. Okay. And independent reading, math. Looks like I can kind of decide how I want to assign these. Science and social studies, the weather watcher, draw what you see. Okay, so really the only one that has recommended days and an order for doing things is this literacy. So I'm ready, now that I know what that says, I'm ready to go back to the classroom and maybe make my own copies of things to post. When I go back, one option, this is the full grade K packet already in a Google Doc form. That makes it easier for kids to answer questions. And so I'm going to show you what that would look like. I'm just going to open this up. And remember, ooh, it looks kind of funny. Sometimes it looks funny when we put it into Google Docs. So instead of using this, I'm going to go to the individual assignments. So if you remember, I needed that reading assignment in English. So I'm going to look for here's the Spanish one. This week I needed it in English for kindergarten. And just looking at it, is there anything that I want kids to be able to fill out? There kind of is. I would love for them to be able to highlight or circle something here. Here's some stuff for them to write. So I'm going to download this to my computer. It's going to open it up in Word for me. I'm going to enable the editing. And I'm going to now change this into a Google Slides presentation, just because that will allow me to make something that my kids can write in and turn it in easily. So the first thing I'm going to do is I need to shrink this down. There's a zoom. Daisy would like to play along. And the next thing I'm going to do is use this snipping tool. If you don't have it on down here on your toolbar, you can type right in here, type to search, just type in snipping tool. It's right there. And click new. And you're going to outline the whole page. Okay. You're going to file, save as, and we're going to call that, let's say, I'm just going to give it a quick name because you don't need to keep it forever, but I'm going to call it Busy Bees 1. And I'm going to save it. Okay. Now I need a new one because I need the next page. I gotta move these windows around. Move my picture up there. Go to new. And there we go. And I'm going to use save as Busy Bees. This is the second page of the packet. So Busy Bees 2. And I save. And the next page is here. I'm going to have to move my picture again. And I'm going to, oops, sorry about that. Go to new. And That's going to be Busy Bees 3. Save it. Another new one. I'll move my picture first. New one. And Busy Bees 4. And I think that's all. Yes. Okay, so I just saved all 4 of these pages and I saved them as images by using the snipping tool. So I'm going to close this. I'm all done with that. Close Word. I can close my snipping tool also. And I'm going to go into classwork. You can also just open a new slides document, but I'm going to go to create and I'm going to create an assignment. And this is going to be reading Busy Bees. Seems like everybody wants to interrupt the video today. And so I'm going to now add, oh, nope, I'm not going to add. I'm going to create. And I can take a slide. Now in slides, the slide is facing the wrong way because that paper, that paper was turned the regular paper way and this is like turned on its side. So I'm going to go to maybe slide, maybe format. I'm going to find it. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of these silly text boxes. So I'm going to go to slide and apply layout and I'm going to make it a blank slide. The next thing I'm going to do, maybe it's in page, I'm in file. There we go. The page setup in file, I'm going to go there and it's telling me that it's widescreen, but it doesn't need to be widescreen. It needs to be like a paper. So I'm going to make it custom. And we know that just that regular computer paper is 8.5 by 11. So I want to make it 8.5 by 11, or maybe it needs to be 11 by 8.5. Let's see. Nope, there we go. Looks like a paper now. So now I'm ready to put what I saved in my pictures right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this slide and I'm going to click change background. I'm going to choose the image and I can browse, but I also know that it's going to be, let's see, in my saved pictures, maybe, yes. So if I open up my saved pictures, remember I saved it as BB1, so it's right there. I can double click on it, just make sure, okay. So I'm gonna pull that back down to a smaller size so I can just drag things. And you can see that I've been making these. All right, there's BB1. I'm just gonna drag it right in. Wait for it. Oh, an error record. Let's try it this way. Browse, pictures, save pictures, BB1. There we go, we're all done. Okay, so that is, if that's all I want them to do for today, that's all I'm going to do. So this is Busy Bees, right? Okay, and if I go back to classroom, move this. There it is. Okay. So I'm going to just refresh. So it's called Busy Bees. Saved as a draft. I'm going to edit this so I can finish my work. Okay, Busy Bees, that's the reading. My instructions are read this. It's not a story. Read this article. Okay. Now, this little arrow is really important. I have to think about what's on there. And so my choices are students can view the file. Do they need to do anything there? Do they need to circle anything, go back to anything? I don't think so. So I think I can just leave it that they can view the file. I don't need a copy for each student. And this is not collaborative work where everyone would be working on the same document. So probably in the beginning of using Google Classroom, you're going to rarely use this. Students can edit the file because it means everybody is editing the same file. So right now, they just need to see this. And I'm going to assign it to all my students. The due date, there's not really anything to do, right? They just have to read it. And so I can say, let's have them read it by tomorrow, by Wednesday. If you don't want to have a due date, you don't have to. Topic, I need a topic because I don't have reading yet. Or I might just call this literacy because I know they're going to be reading and writing for this. And I'm going to assign this. Okay, I can also schedule it, or I can always save as a draft. If there are kids that I think I have a better article for that's more at their level, like if I have really advanced readers and I want them reading some other article on busy bees, on bees or insects or something else, I'm going to assign that to just that one student, and I would only assign this to the students who it's appropriate for. But since I'm not worrying about differentiation right now, I just want to assign this to all my students and then figure out how I'm going to help them read this later. So all students, it's going to be due tomorrow. There's no rubric, and I'm ready to assign it. You're going to see it. I'm going to assign it. Okay, so now let's see what happens when I want to assign something that I want them to be able to do something with. So I need to create another assignment. And if you remember back on day 1, they were supposed to read. On day 2, they were supposed to reread and then answer the questions. So in today's assignment, I'm going to say, reread Busy Bees and answer the questions. But I'm not going to give them all the questions because I think I can save those for another day. So I could also say, actually, that's what I'm going to do. Busy Bees questions. And here I'm going to say reread the Busy Bees article and answer the questions. Okay, so now I'm ready to create. I'm going to make another slide presentation. Now I have a couple choices. I can put the busy beads in as one document and the questions in as another document, which is a lot of clicking, I think, for kindergarten. So I'm going to try and put everything in the same document. I'm not sure why that didn't want to work. There we go. Let me just close these. Oh, and there's that annoying slide again. So I'm going to go to slide. I'm going to apply layout. I need a blank one. Go to File, and I'm going to scroll down until I see Page Setup. Move it to Custom. And now I'm doing 8.5 by 11. I'm going to apply it. And now I'm ready. We said this was Busy Bees questions. And I might put day 2. Okay. So now I'm ready to right click, change background. This time I'm going to show you a different way. I'm going to choose image, and I'm going to browse my computer. I know it's in pictures, and that article was BB1 is the name I gave to it. Okay, now I need another slide. You can either go to slide and new slide, or do you see this as the shortcut Control M? It's a good shortcut to learn, so Control M. Go back there. Control M. And that gives me a new slide. Oh, it has these annoying text boxes. Slide, apply layout. Let's try that again. Slide, apply layout, and we want just the blank one. And now I right click. There's another way if you don't want to right click. You can go to slide, change background, choose image. And this time I'm looking for my BB2. Now, I'm actually going to, in the interest of time, pretend that this is, I want to assign everything all at once. So I'm going to say day 4, I'm going to make the whole packet de una vez for once and for all, just to show you how I would do all of the pages. So Control M, I'm going to right click, change the background, and this is going to be BB3. That didn't really work for me. Let's go back into there. Busy Bees. Okay. Change background. Choose image. Here, that should work. Done. And one more, Control M to make a new slide. Right click to change the background. Choose an image. And I'm looking for my BB4. All done. Okay, now I'm ready to make this interactive for my students. So maybe I want to, on this one, ask them to maybe just put an X next to it. So I might say I'm going to insert a text box, or we'll have them. And I'm going to put the text box right over the picture. Okay. And let's say we want to make this font really big. 72 even is not big enough. 96 maybe. Let's see if they put a circle. Put an X. There we go. So I'm going to take this X off. And so now what happens is I'm going to tell them to click on the picture and type an X on the picture that is their answer. Okay, so I'm going to save this text box. I'm going to copy it by clicking on it and then Control C, and then Control V. And that gives me another box, and I'm going to put it right over there. So there's one here, one here. I'm going to Control C and Control V. I'm going to put it there, Control C and Control V. And there's one there. Okay, so all of these have boxes, but now I need one more box that tells them what to do. So I'm going to say make one more box. This is going to be my directions box. And it's going to say, this is going to probably be huge. Excuse me. And so I'm going to say, click on the answer and type X. It looks really tiny because my slide is small enough to see the whole page. Okay. And I'm going to copy that and leave those directions for this one also. Okay, so that one is now interactive. That's one way that they can select the answer that they want. If you can also teach them to highlight, they can fill the box, but these would probably be lessons that you would need to teach. So for example, if I wanted them to color the box yellow, I could teach them to go here and color that box yellow. Okay. Let's see. The next one, where do bees live? This is another multiple choice one, so you're going to do the same thing. Daisy, let me show you what happens when we get to these lines where they need to fill in an answer. So I'm going to actually make a text box that covers those two lines. And now I want to get the right size font to fill in the line. So 36 looks like it might do it. 48 looks perfect. So I'm just going to let them know that there's a text box here. Click here. If you think they might not know that they're supposed to type, I can write, click here to type here. And hopefully they'll know to highlight it, but if they don't, they'll write the answer underneath. It's fine. And then you know that that's one kind of lesson you can teach them. And so this one comes down here, and now they have that. Now for this one, draw a picture of bees getting their food. What are they supposed to do with that? So I would say here, give them directions. So I'm going to insert a text box. If you have a different idea, I would love to hear it because I haven't found a great answer, but I like to sort of give parents the option of being the teacher here. So I can say, you can send your picture in an email, upload, excuse me, upload it here, or show it to your family. And that's it. That's how I make some of the packets interactive. Even if they come in a PDF, you can still save them. By making this the background, what it does is there's no way for them to mess up the print on the page. They can't delete it or anything. And if you leave it as a document, they might just erase it. I'm going to go before my allergies prevent me from saying anything else. So I hope that was helpful, and please let me know if there's anything else I can help you with through tutorials. Have a good one. Bye. I can't find where. There we go. Bye.